Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Boy, the American Rescue Plan was signed into law just yesterday by President Biden, and we're seeing lightning speed on these stimulus checks. Today is Friday, March the 12th. TGIF, everybody. It's late in the night here on the East Coast, and it's evening on the West Coast. This is your late night stimulus check update on your first, second, and your third stimulus check. We're going to zoom in on the third, and we're also going to talk about PPP and EIDL in this video. Man, lightning speed on these checks. I'm actually already hearing money is landing in the banks. You're going to want to hear about this. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Edward Bilder. To all my loyal subscribers out there, welcome back to another video. And if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome. Consider becoming a subscriber. I'm going to dive straight into the stimulus update. We're going to talk about the checks, who's getting checks, money's flowing already, who's already starting to receive them. And we have some updates on EIDL. What's going on inside the new bill, and some bugs happening in the PPP world. So stay tuned to the video, get all your updates, all right? I have viewers right now on my Instagram and on my channel telling me, poof, $2,800 showed up in their bank account today. Poof, like magic, right? So, I don't know. Okay, I just started. Everybody pause the video. I just started, but go ahead, pause the video, go check your bank account. I'll wait right here and you can come on back, okay? So let me just put it into perspective for you. The first round CARES Act days, man, that like took 3 weeks to get the checks flowing electronically. Paper checks, forget about it. That took much longer. The second check, it was about 3 days. Okay, it was about 3 days, and then everybody started seeing the funds. Maybe 4 days, maybe 5 days. Still, the paper checks terrible on that second one as well. Debit cards increased, but there were definitely not as many debit cards in the first round. So, 24 hours later, boom. $2,800 showing up in one of my viewers' bank accounts today. Thank you, by the way, for giving us that heads up. Way to go, IRS. That's all I got to say. Let's talk about who's going to get that $1,400. The $1,400 is going to go to all of the filers paying taxes. So if you're a married couple and you're under 75K, you and your husband and your wife, social security numbers, are going to get $1,400 each. All of your dependents that are on your taxes, if you got children, if you got children in high school, middle school, diapers, everything from 6 months up, okay? And if you have children in college, and if you have adult dependents, any dependent that is on your taxes that relies on you, okay, they're getting $1,400 as a multiplier. This is huge. This is a huge one, all right? So who is going to get the fast track of these checks? It is going to 2019 or 2020 filers who filed electronically who have already seen a refund come back, right? So if you already filed for 2020 or 2019 and you already got your refund back, boom, you guys are in the lightning round. You guys are like, wow, super fast. 24 hours later. I'm so surprised with this one, actually. Who else is getting them? Non-filers. The IRS created a tool for non-filers. That was if you never, maybe you didn't pay taxes for the year 2019. You're still eligible for a stimulus check. As a non-filer, you were able to go in there, create this fake income tax return that just basically says, I owe you nothing, right? And if you did it before November 21st of 2020, you're getting your money quick as well, okay? You're going to be part of that first group. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome and pretty fast. To touch more on who gets the checks, I know I skipped. Married couples are $150,000 or less. Filing single is $75,000 or less. And it ends at $80,000 and $160,000. And if you're a head of household, it's $112,500, and that ends at $120,000. And if you are on the lower side of your income level, you're actually getting like a faster priority. So you would actually get your checks before somebody that's closer to 75K. If you're on the lower side of it, you're going to get your check faster. And there's going to be way more prepaid debit cards going out this round than any other round that we've seen. So be careful with your mail. I do it all the time. I get those stinking cards. Everybody wants to send you a card and apply now, and I just chuck them in the garbage. So be very careful that you don't throw this one away, all right? We will find out exactly what the name of these cards are and what they look like, and we're going to share this for you as soon as we see the first set of debit cards going out. We're going to try and get an image of one and share it with everybody on this channel, so you don't make the mistake. Oh man, you don't want to throw out your $2,800, right? That would not be good. Let's move into PPP. I got some big updates on some bugs. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Okay, let's talk about PPP because that deadline is getting closer and closer. March 31st is the PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, deadline for the application. Okay, the application has to be submitted. And some banks are starting to close down way earlier than the CARES Act days, okay? Much earlier. They were closing like 5 days earlier before. Now they're closing like 10, 15 days early, okay? So if you haven't already done so, if you haven't already applied and you're like a gig worker, sole proprietor, and maybe before you thought you weren't qualified for this, it is now off of your gross income. Very important to understand that. It's that much bigger number at the top than the much smaller number at the bottom, okay? Right? It's that line 7 up here, which is a big number, versus that line 31, which is a little number, right? After you deduct all your stuff and maybe your mileage deductions and everything else comes off, it makes that number at the bottom get really small. So you could be eligible for a lot more money now. That's the big problem here. And so many of you are stuck in the middle of this. Everybody out there in the net income world that already filed or has applications in, you guys are got to be going crazy right now because you're like, man, if I waited just another 5 days or another 3 days, I could have applied with gross income. A couple things you could do. Call the bank, right? Call whoever you file through and say, change my application now. Like, is it in with the SBA? Yes or no? If not, change it. Change it, change it, change it. Okay? I could tell you a couple of fintechs. We're going to tell you at the end here who can do that for you and who's not. But we'll wait on that, okay? Another thing you could do, which is really risky, okay? It is risky, all right? There are signs out there that the deadline's going to get extended. It couldn't get extended in the reconciliation bill because it's against the rules, okay? But an act of Congress can extend the deadline. There's still 40% of the funds out there, huge amount of money. They're now sending $7.25 billion over there to the program that's like ending in 2 weeks, right? Why would they send more money over there if it's ending in 2 weeks? And the PPPLF, the Federal Reserve, they just extended their access to funds, right, out to June 30th. So there's a lot of signs there that are saying that the program may get extended. It's risky now, okay, because it may not get extended, but it's likely, okay. So you can withdraw your application, maybe submit it and get it in time before March 31st, but maybe not, which means you would have to hold out for a longer period of time if you have a net income application submitted right now and you want to change it to gross. You could go and cancel it and restart from scratch today in hopes that you get in time. As we get closer to March 31st, it's going to be harder to do that process, all right? So you really need to make a decision now. Do you want to hold out, get the full amount? Because it doesn't seem very likely that if you got your net already and you've already been funded for draw 1 or draw 2, it does not seem very likely that the SBA is going to allow any changes to that, right? They've already declared that those were the rules at the time. That was your terms and conditions, and you're stuck in those. They haven't indicated at all that they're going to give some kind of application to get that adjusted from the balance of the net to the gross. I mean, look at the way EIDL is going. It's like a mess, right? I'm hoping that changes because I think the SBA is dead wrong on that. For fairness for everybody, if you got a net income and you're actually eligible for a gross income, I think there should be an application to get that done. I think it should happen. So I urge the SBA to do that. I hope you're watching right now, okay? So share this with all your congressmen and all your senators. Share this with everybody you know, okay? SBA, make that change. All right, let's talk about some fintechs. Blue Vine is now accepting gross. Okay, they were stuck on net for the longest time. They finally adjusted, and they are accepting applications in gross income. They have some bugs happening right now, okay? And it's triggering a denial. You know those check boxes that you go through, you answer all those questions? Well, it's saying that you're denied because you selected that you got a shuttered venue, or, you're the president of the United States or the vice president of the United States, which I don't think the president or the vice president of the United States is watching my video right now. And if you are, how you doing, okay? So the bugs right now are really bringing Blue Vine down, okay? And it's slowing down a lot of applications. Now you can reset the application, all right? So in the lower right-hand side of your application, you're going to see like reapply or reset, and you'll see that you can basically reset your application and start over and hope that when you check those boxes that problem won't be there this time, but I don't know. I don't know if they fixed the bug in time, okay? So Blue Line's going to need to fix this. Let's go over to Ready Capital. Ready Capital, and I'm not saying they're doing this for everybody, but if you call them, they will switch you from net to gross. They will do it, okay? Not many banks are doing this. Ready Capital seems to be doing it. So they're changing your application for you, that if you applied with net, they'll switch it over to gross. Okay, so that's pretty great. Womply is on gross. You may need to reapply if you already started with net. Right? So if you started your application and it had net income in there, you might have to start it over with a new email address in order to get it to reset the application so that it shows up as gross. All right. If you haven't already done so, you can support the channel by tapping that old like button. Okay, every time you touch the like button, YouTube recommends this video to more and more people, and we really need to spread this message. There's a lot of things happening right now. You can also share us on your Facebook or on your Twitter, help share it that way. And you can join us on other videos where we talk about building wealth strategies through passive income, royalties, the stock market, and real estate. I bring it up the stock market, okay, because I'm hearing that many people are going to take their stimulus check and go straight to the market. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing they're taking their PPP money. They're like, how could I pay myself and go buy stocks? I get that question a lot. They're like, can I take just my PPP and go straight to the stock market with it? Yes, pay yourself first, and then you spend your money any way you normally spend your money. You got to pay yourself first, though, okay? Otherwise, you won't get it forgiven, and you want it forgiven so you don't have to pay it back. All right, let's head into EIDL. EIDL is bringing $15 billion in this new bill, okay? And it's interesting the way it's set up. $10 billion is going to go one way, and $5 billion is going to go the other way. Coincidentally, $10 billion over here is going to send $10,000 checks, and $5 billion over here is going to send an additional $5,000 check, okay? So you could be seeing yourself getting $15,000, $10,000, or in some cases, no $1,000, right? If you're outside the filing, you won't get a grant, all right? So we're going to talk about who's going to get them, who's not going to get them. The $10,000, all right? I know a lot of people are out there saying that we're finally, everybody in middle income and everybody is finally going to see the balance of their $10,000. But the way that the text is wrote, I did a whole comprehensive on the text here, so you can check out this video if you want more details on this. But the way the text is wrote right now is it is going to handle shortfalls. That $10,000, that first $10 billion, and the $10,000 is going to handle shortfalls for priorities 1 and 2. That's everybody who applied before December 27th, 2020, and you have to have fallen in a 30% reduction in gross receipts, be 300 or fewer employees, and you have to live in a low-income community that's outlined on one of the SBA's maps. I know that the map is terrible. I know people that are in rural areas, you know, they're really in low-income situations. But on the census map, it's not showing that, right? Because maybe you have some big anchor farm there, or somebody who's paying high taxes that just brought the whole census tract up. So it's terrible. It's terrible the way this is all set up, right? It's a complete shouldn't have been done that way. Shouldn't have been done that way. You could be living across the street, and you know, over there is low income, over here is not low income, and you guys are in the same situation. It's just bad. It's so bad. Okay, let's talk about where the $5,000 are going to go. The $5,000 is an additional, okay? It's $5 billion is going this way for $5,000 additional, and it has new rules. 10 or fewer employees, you have to have suffered a 50% reduction in gross receipts. Okay, not 30%, 50%. And a big question mark, big, huge question mark, because the text is wrote, and it talks about 331, which is low income, and it also talks about 1110 of the CARES Act. Well, those two things are very different, right? 1110 of the CARES Act means everybody who applied before December 27th of 2020. It was regardless of location. Well, 331 is specific around location, and it has a big or. So we're going to have to follow the text as it comes out, as the guidelines from the SBA come out, to let us know what the decision is going to be here, because that word or there, it just doesn't sit very well with me. You can check out that video. I explain this in much greater detail. So check out that video and let us know if you think we're being screwed. And remember, by leaving comments, you're actually going to enroll yourself into my giveaway, right? Because if you're a subscriber and you comment, it's going to put you in my next giveaway at 20,000 subscribers. I'm picking a lucky comment from all of my subscribers to send $500 to. I just did this last Saturday, helped out a family in need, send them $500, and they were very, very grateful for that. So if you need help leaving comments, just tell us where you are in the process of EIDL. Let us know what month you applied for the advanced grant, if you got any funding, right? So we know if you're in priorities 1 or 2. And let us know if you got your invitation to the portal. We're trying to track some data here for all our reviewers. Now look, what comes next is up to you, okay? You need to take some of the stimulus money. You need to get out there and you need to start investing. And right now in the description, you can check out Webull and BlockFi. Webull wants to give you 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 after you deposit $100 into the platform. And BlockFi, if you deposit anywhere between $50 and $250 to secure your cryptocurrency, you could earn up to like 8.6% on that. That's pretty amazing, 8.6%. Webull has these pretty interesting games you can play. Check this out. I invited some friends. I get to spin this wheel here every time I invite a new friend, and I just won some free stocks. That's pretty cool. And the other day, I won this. Pretty awesome stuff, $262 of Facebook stocks. That's going to do it for today, everybody. If you need more assistance on anything outside of my free content here on YouTube, you can schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. Find me in the description. And also in the description, you could find me on Instagram. Don't follow anybody else on this channel. I thank you all again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.